Tim, thank you for explaining the fundamental basics of how big our solar system is. We're going to take a big leap and go to, I guess, the whole universe, if you want to think of it that way. Next photo I'd like to share from our club. This is actually Eric Goodrich took this, and this is a backyard photo from downtown Chicago area. So you look up in your sky at night and it's totally gray. But if you use the right techniques, you can actually take deep sky photographs like this. This is the Jellyfish Nebula. So if you look to the upper right, that would be the head of the jellyfish, and to the lower left is kind of those tendrils and tentacles hanging down in the water. And this is the remnant of a supernova. A star exploded, and this is the gas that's expanding out from that explosion. So how did Eric take this picture? This is 11 hours of what we call stacked data. He takes very short 30-second, 1-minute photographs and stacks hundreds, thousands of these until the data gets up to where he needs it, edits it, and this is what he gets. So this is 11 hours of all of those photos stacked. But again, it shows what you can do even from Chicago. Yes, we do like to go out to the dark skies. That's where you can see the stars, but you can also do this from your backyard with the right equipment. And with this, I want to go back to Tim. Tim was with you just a moment ago showing you the lunar atlas, and Tim's going to show you some more freeware to kind of find your way around the stars, where you can find things like the Jellyfish Nebula, but get accustomed to the stars, and that's your first step into really finding all these cool things. So Tim, let me stop sharing, and you've got the floor, Tim.
Hello again, everyone. Let me get my slideshow going. Okay. Once again, my name is Tim Klepaczyk. This time I'm going to talk about another freeware program. This one's a free planetarium program. Topics for the program, which is called Stellarium. I'm going to talk about what it is, how it works, what you can do with it, and what you can do to get started or learn more. Stellarium is another free open source software. As I mentioned, this one is for a planetarium program. It includes realistic sky in 3 dimensions, just like what you would see with your naked eye binoculars or even through a telescope. It's available in Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. You download, install, and run Stellarium like any other freeware. There is a mobile Stellarium version available for Android and iOS, but it is not free. Today, I'm going to demonstrate the Windows version of Stellarium on my laptop. Once again, I've made a list of 10 things, and I'm going to highlight 3 of them. And I want to remind you again, this is a minor subset of all the things that you can do with a program like this. So my demonstration, what I'll be doing is we'll preview tonight's night sky. We're also going to use the program to look at the night sky from a different part of the world at a different time. Finally, I'm going to simulate an astronomical event. To get started or learn more, the web page and download links are provided at stellarium.org. Once again, for support, you can check out the nsiclub.org site and the Astronomical League site. Cloudynights.com is available for more advanced observers. And the Stellarium program has a Stellarium development Twitter site. So I provided that one here as well. Once again, all this information is posted on the NSA website on our Astronomical Day webpage. So let me switch screens so that you can see Stellarium now. And I'm going to move a couple things. Hopefully I won't misspell anything. So what I have displayed right now is the night sky from Palatine, where I live, at 10 o'clock this evening. Currently, it's not actually running, but I'm going to turn it on. It's possible you might see it moving. So it moves very slowly, but for anybody who's ever looked up at the night sky, it doesn't take very long before you can start noticing that things are going to start moving. And that may very well be the case with our planetarium program. But what's up tonight? Here we're looking in the south. I'm going to change to the north. There are constellations that are readily observable in the north. Now we can turn off some of these features. You see, I had the constellation lines there. So this is more the kind of sky that you're going to see, right? Although we still have a couple of stars that are labeled. I don't know if you noticed, but the little dipper is right there. Here's a famous constellation here, Cassiopeia. And if I put the lines back on, you'll see them, and you'll see that they're labeled. We can also zoom out and look, and sure enough, here's the Big Dipper. People are familiar with the Big Dipper know that these stars here point toward North Star. So that's the North Star. And we can even put a equatorial grid on it. Boom, there's the North Pole in the sky. Polaris is very, very close to it. It's not exactly at it, but it's for practical purposes, it's at the North Pole. Now, what else is up? Well, the moon, the sun, the planets all travel through the zodiacal constellations. Here's one right here. Here's Gemini. And sure enough, there's one of the planets. Mars is right there in Gemini. And if we look by panning through, here's Cancer, here's Leo, here's Virgo, and the moon is going to be up in Virgo at 10 o'clock tonight. And if we advance through the night, we're going to see it move to other parts of the night, right? So here I'm going to move it by the hour. You can see how it moves, and eventually you're going to see things like Jupiter rise over here. That's happening at 4 o'clock in the morning, so you'd have to be up very early to see it. Now I'm going to go to an historical date. What was up in the sky back in 1962 in July? I've been meaning to do July. Yeah, that'll do it. And so this is around 10 o'clock on July 3rd, 1962, which happens to be the day I was born. So what planets were up? Do we see? Now I'm looking again at these zodiacal constellations. If we look here, oh, here's Uranus over here. You can't really see the whole writing of the planet. It's behind this tree that's in the graphics. But Uranus was up in Leo. Neptune was up as well. I know. Maybe we have to advance the hour a little bit. Where is Neptune? Well, Saturn comes up in Capricorn, and Jupiter here is in Aquarius. So on the day that I was born, there were at least four planets that you would be able to observe. I'm sorry, I don't remember where Neptune is, but I know Neptune was up too. Okay, so one more thing that I want to show you is I'm going to change our location and date. I'm going to go to another place in Illinois. Down in the south, there's a town called Carbondale. And I'm going to change the date. We're going to go to a few years ago. In 2017, in August, on the 21st, and for a little change of pace here, we're going to go to the middle of the day. Isn't that interesting? The sun is up in Leo, and what is this thing that's blocking the sun there? That was when the total eclipse of the moon happened, and you can recreate the eclipse of the moon. I'm sorry, it's the eclipse of the sun. It's a solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is different. It was an eclipse of the sun. It's kind of a pale comparison, but it is interesting to see. It does show the sky getting not as bright. And I, having witnessed it myself, although not in Carbondale, but in a place in Missouri, it becomes kind of like twilight. And one more thing I want to show you. We're going to go to another day in Carbondale. This time we're going into the future in 2024, and I'm going to go on April 8th of 2024. Isn't that interesting? Carbondale, Illinois. Look at that. The moon eclipsed the sun again in Carbondale, Illinois. Boom, right there. A little bit different time, more like 2 o'clock instead of 1:15. But 2 solar eclipses from the same city in a 7-year time frame. That doesn't happen very often. I bet it's 1,000 years before it happens in Carbondale again. So let's see if we have any questions. That's my presentation. Len, we have a question from Len. He's asking, will this app show me the precession of the pole star? That's a good question. I haven't considered that. I'm not sure how long the database goes. I know it goes for a good 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years, and I'm pretty sure that you could. The precession of the pole star, the Earth wobbles in its orbit. So right now, almost right over the North Pole, like I showed you, is the star Polaris, the North Star. And Len's question is asking if we can show that that star moves and maybe it becomes another star. Like I think Vega was the pole star a few thousand years ago. And I'm pretty sure that the database for this program will allow you to reproduce that. I suppose we could try it. But I'm not sure we have enough time for that. Do we have any other questions? I'm not seeing any other questions.
No, looks like it's quiet.
Are there questions? Maybe my chat isn't effective. So once again, you can have fun with your own planetarium program. Check out the Astronomy Day pages at the Northwest Suburban Astronomer site and have fun with it.
Well, thank you, Tim. That was very interesting. I'm sure a lot of folks are like, well, how do I find my way around the sky? And, you know, before I buy a telescope, am I going to buy an expensive piece of equipment I can't find my way around? And that inexpensive Stellarium is a great way to get introduced. And I think it's neat too, because before you go on vacation, you want to see what the sky will look from your location. If you want to plan some photographs, you can figure out what'll be up, what time it rises. And it's kind of neat for planning your observing sessions as well. So very, very cool.